if you vote for the Republicans, you are anti-American. Now, according to New York State Governor Kathy Hochul, anyone voting Republican for House candidate in New York State is anti-American, anti-woman, and anti-abortion. Now, I'm not sure how she got to that point or that conclusion. Nonetheless, she made the statement. Now, a lot of these statement guys that Democrats make are not so much, I guess they're a little concerning, like a tad bit concerning, because this is the rhetoric of the Nazi Party. These are the things that opposing parties say to damage another party, to make them look like the enemy all the way through, so that Democrats around the nation can turn around and start doing what? Being angry at Republicans, attacking us, who knows? But when you make ridiculous comments like that, that is you turning one person against another. That is a very divisive comment. Now, Democrats keep repeating comments like that. They keep coming up with lies and stupidity, as we saw them trying to do with Donald Trump in this election. I mean, they were going out of their way to torch this man with gasoline, and it didn't really work. His polls didn't come down. In fact, a lot of his polling is going up in the right direction. Now, whether or not he wins or loses, that remains to be seen. I am a firm believer that he is not going to win this election. And if he does, I will apologize. But I don't have any hope, because I see the sneakiness starting already with the Democratic Party in this election. Anyway, Kathy Hochul, guys, is made such a stupid comment that even Democrats are like, why did she do that? Like, granted, her comment is not going to have Democrats sit there and go, you know what, we're going to vote for Republicans. I mean, listen, she might have one or two that do that, but as a whole, it's not really going to, damage the Democratic Party or Republican Party. I mean, it's not going to give the Republican Party more respect, but it's comments like that Democrats keep saying that makes me wonder, what direction is the Democratic Party going in? And what direction are they trying to achieve Hitler-esque power by making these same comments that the past regimes like Hitler and Stalin have done to opposing parties, and we have seen done to opposing parties around the world, making alarming comments like that, so that not everybody, but the majority of people will turn against said opposing party, whatever that opposing party is in your country. So this is a bit of a concern. Not like tomorrow we're going to wake up all in handcuffs and sent to the clink. I don't think that's going to happen. But if they keep making comments like that, if comments like that keep going unchecked, how far and how bad can this be? Now, again, the Democrats, a couple of Democrat politicians were like, that was a dumbass comment. In a nutshell, I mean, I'm paraphrasing. One guy was like, that wasn't a smart thing for her to say. Another Republican pretty much said she's stupid. She is the worst governor in New York State history. In fact, she only has a 36% approval rating amongst New Yorkers here in New York, whereas 56% don't like her, and then I guess there's like an undecided amount of people that are just like, whatever. But imagine, she is unliked amongst her own in New York State. And that's because she's done a shitty job all the way through. This leads me into the other situation I really don't want to talk about. I do see people talking about it. I don't know if I want to do a whole video on it, but that whole squirrel nonsense, that's like so, I might do a whole video on it just because I'm like truly annoyed with that whole thing. And in the video, I'll tell you why. But still, all of this going on, guys, and these Democrats are making asinine comments. I mean, you have celebrities out there saying if you don't vote for Democrats, you are not black, right? If you don't vote Democrat, you're against the United States. If you don't vote Democrat, you're voting for a Nazi party. Now, the Nazi comment wasn't like you're voting for a Nazi style party, excuse me. So you have all these comments being made like all over the place. There's so many, they're hard to track. Still, this comment is just a bit concerning because I'm seeing a pattern in Democrats making comments like this and shit like this growing, and it's only going to anger people, especially if Trump wins. If Trump wins, comments like this are going to be incendiary. People are going to react poorly and light it up. And then things are going to get a whole hell of a lot interesting, at least between the people of Republicans and Democrats. Because politicians are going to make these asinine comments, and then they're not going to be in the streets fighting with one another. They're going to be sitting home with their little security fucking crew around them, watching this shit unfold on TV. So these are the people that I always tell you guys do not care about the American people. Kathy Hochul doesn't care about New Yorkers. Kamala Harris doesn't even care about the American people. A lot of these politicians, including a lot of Republicans, do not care about the American people. They will make these comments constantly because we are going to be the ones fighting in the street, not them. And that's what they want. And this is why we shouldn't fall for shit like this, and we shouldn't turn against one another. We can disagree all day, every day, but we should not be in the streets mixing it up, because that's what they want. Because as soon as we start doing it, that's where they start implementing their authoritarianism style bullshit. Because now we're fighting with one another. And how do you get the fighting to stop? Put the military in the streets. Make sure they're in train stations every day, not some days. Make sure they're at the airports every day, not some days. Make sure they're walking the streets like beat cops. At first it'll be whip cops, and then it'll just be military. And this is how you take over a country, when you start pitting people against each other, and when we start fighting with one another. The politicians who work for us are saying, we got to control these people, instead of the other way around. We should be controlling them. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.